You work too hard to be stressed about money. We are going to build a system, a literal machine, that takes your income and distributes it into wealth-building buckets before you even wake up in the morning. To set up your financial life once and then ignore it. If you want to automate your wealth and become a lazy millionaire in 2026, you have to stop trying so hard. That sounds counterintuitive, right? We live in a hustle culture that tells us we need to wake up at 4 in the morning, stare at 6 monitors, and trade crypto until our eyes bleed if we want to get rich. But the truth is, the richest people I know are actually the laziest when it comes to their money management. They don't rely on willpower, they don't rely on memory, and they definitely don't rely on feeling like saving money. Because, let's be honest, no one feels like transferring $100 or whatever amount to a savings account when there is a sale on Amazon. Here is the problem. You are relying on your brain to build wealth. But your brain is wired to spend, not to save. Every time you have to make a decision to save money, you are fighting millions of years of evolution that screams, "Eat the buffalo now, because we might starve tomorrow." This is why budgeting harder fails 90% of the time. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fire yourself as your own money manager. We are going to build a system, a literal machine, that takes your income and distributes it into wealth-building buckets before you even wake up in the morning. This is the exact strategy, the lazy millionaire protocol that turns average earners into wealthy individuals. By the end of this video, you will have the blueprint to set up your financial life once, spend about 2 hours on it, and then ignore it for the rest of 2026 while your net worth grows in the background. So, if you are ready to stop stressing and start automating, let's dive in. Right, before we even touch the apps or peek at our bank accounts, we need to grasp the core rule behind this whole system. It's called pay yourself first. Now, you've probably heard that phrase before, but honestly, most people get it wrong. They think it just means, save whatever's left over at the end of the month. But that, my friend, is not paying yourself first. That's actually paying yourself last. When you pay yourself last, you're basically just getting the scraps. And here's the thing, Parkinson's law tells us that work expands to fill the time available. In the world of money, it's more like spending expands to match the income available. So, if you see $2,000 sitting in your checking account, your brain instantly assumes you've got $2,000 to splash out on dinner, clothes, or maybe the latest gadgets. The so-called lazy millionaire flips this whole flow on its head. We take the money earmarked for your future and move it out before your brain even realizes it's there. It's a bit like hiding the biscuits on the top shelf so you're not tempted to eat them. If you don't see the money, you simply don't spend it. And honestly, the best bit? You just find yourself living effortlessly on whatever's left. So, how do we actually build this machine? The first step is, establishing your hub. This is your main checking account. Think of this account like an air traffic controller at a busy airport. Its only job is to direct traffic. Money lands here from your paycheck, and its job is to get that money out of there as fast as possible. You do not want money sitting in your hub. Money that sits in a checking account is losing value to inflation every single second. In 2026, with the cost of living what it is, leaving cash idle is basically setting it on fire. For your hub, you need a bank, that plays nice with other banks. You want no fees, no minimum balance requirements, and a great mobile app. This is where your direct deposit hits. But, and this is crucial, you do not leave your debit card connected to this for daily spending if you can help it. We want to protect this account. Once the money hits the hub, we set up automatic transfers. These are not reminders on your calendar. These are automatic recurring transfers set up within the bank's portal. The first plane to leave the airport goes to your short-term wealth storage. This is your emergency fund and your short-term savings goals. Now, listen to me closely. Do not, I repeat, do not keep your savings at the same bank as your checking account if they pay you 0.01% interest. Big traditional banks are notorious for this. They take your money, lend it out at 7%, and pay you crumbs. You need a high-yield savings account, or HYSA. Check the links in the description to help with this part. Even in 2026, online banks are offering competitive rates that are literally 10 to 15 times higher than traditional brick-and-mortar banks. Here is the automation step. You log into your hub account. You set up a recurring transfer for the day after your payday. If you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, you set a transfer for $100 or whatever your number is to go to your HYSA on the 2nd and the 16th. Why the day after? To ensure the funds are cleared. Why not wait a week? Because if you wait a week, you will spend it. This money is for your sleep well at night fund. It is for when the car breaks down or you lose your job. By automating this, you are building a safety net without ever having to make the decision to be responsible. You just wake up and you are safer than you were yesterday. I want to pause for just a second. We are building a system here that changes lives. I talk to people every day who make 6 figures but live paycheck to paycheck because they lack this system. If you are finding value in this blueprint and you want to master your money mindset, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button down below. It tells YouTube this content is helpful. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications. We are building a community here at Mind Over Money HQ that is focused on wealth, not just wages. Okay, let's get back to the machine. We have the hub and we have the savings. Now we need the engine that actually makes you rich. You know, saving money preserves your wealth, but investing is what actually grows it. And honestly, this is where the millionaire part of Lazy Millionaire really comes into play. Now, I know many of you are scared of the stock market. You might be thinking you need to pick the right stock, time the dip, or maybe even read all those complicated technical charts. But that is simply nonsense. In fact, most professional fund managers cannot even beat the market over a 15-year period. So, why should you try? For us lazy millionaires, we use something called dollar cost averaging into index funds. So, here is the setup. You open a brokerage account or a Roth IRA. Then you link it to your hub account. After that, you just set up an automatic investment. Notice I said automatic investment, not just automatic transfer. Most platforms allow you to say, pull $100 from my bank on the 3rd of the month and buy $100 worth of the S&P 500 or a total market index fund. This buys you a tiny slice of the biggest, most profitable companies in the world. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, you own a piece of them. Why is this lazy? Because you don't care if the market is up or down. When the market is down, your $100 buys more shares. You are buying on sale. When the market is up, your portfolio value grows. Over time, historically, the market goes up. You set this up once. It takes 15 minutes. And then, in 2026, 2027 and 2030, you are buying assets in your sleep. You become an owner of the economy, not just a consumer of it. Now we have to handle the boring stuff. Rent, utilities, internet, phone. The old way of doing this is waiting for the bill to arrive in the mail, opening it, stressing about it, logging in and paying it. That is painful. That is friction. Friction causes procrastination, and procrastination causes late fees. I want you to automate every single fixed bill you have. You've got a couple of options for automating your bills. Option A. Set up autopay on the service provider's side using your credit card. Honestly, I prefer this because you can get points or even cash back, which is a nice little perk. Option B. Use your bank's bill pay feature for things like rent, where you can't use a card. Here is the magic trick for 2026. You need to calculate exactly how much your fixed bills cost each month. Let's just say, for example, it's $2,000. You make sure that $2,000 always stays in your hub account. And, well, you never touch it. Now, when you automate your bills, your credit score naturally skyrockets. And you might wonder, why is that? Well, it's because 35% of your credit score is payment history. If you never miss a payment because a robot is doing it for you, you end up looking like a financial genius to the credit bureaus. All right, so here's the thing. We've paid our future self through investing. We've protected our present self by saving, and, well, we've paid our debts and bills. Now, whatever is left over in your hub account, that, my friend, is yours. You know, this is the bit that a lot of gurus, like Dave Ramsey, often get wrong. They'll tell you to cut every single latte, live on nothing but rice and beans. But honestly, that's just not sustainable. You'll burn out, plain and simple. So, in the lazy millionaire system, if you've automated your savings and investing, you can spend the rest of your money totally guilt-free. You want those $200 sneakers? Buy them. You want to go out for a lovely dinner? Just do it. You know why you can do it without guilt? Because the math is already done. You know your retirement is funded. You know your bills are paid. The money in your account is truly disposable income. This shift in psychology is massive. You stop agonizing over every $5 purchase and start enjoying your life, knowing your financial foundation is solid concrete. Since we are in 2026, we have access to tools that make this even easier. You should be using an account aggregator. Apps that link all your accounts, your hub, your high-yield savings account, your credit cards, your investments, into one dashboard. You don't need to budget every line item in a spreadsheet anymore. AI tools can now analyze your spending and, well, tell you, hey, you are spending 15% more on groceries this month. Use these tools to monitor the system, not to run it. The system runs itself. You are just the CEO looking at the quarterly report. Here is the bottom line. You work too hard to be stressed about money. The reason you feel financial anxiety isn't because you aren't smart. It's because you are trying to carry the mental load of 1,000 decisions every month. The lazy millionaire isn't lazy about their ambitions. They're just, well, smart about their energy. They know that willpower, honestly, is for things like diet and exercise and being a good partner. not for remembering to pay the electric bill. I want you to take action today, not tomorrow. Today. Just pick one part of this system. Maybe it's simply opening the high-yield savings account, and do it. Then, come back and do the next step. Question of the day. I want to hear from you in the comments. We are all at different stages of this journey, right? What is the one bill or financial task that you absolutely dread doing manually? Is it paying the rent? Is it transferring to savings? Let me know in the comments below. I read as many as I can. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend who is stressed about their finances. Let's help them build their own machine. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on mastering your mind and your money. Go set up your systems, and I'll see you in the next video.